Well, hello there, Facebook and YouTube. How are y'all doing? My name is Mike Reiser. This is Coffee and Guns with Mike Reiser. How about that? I'm going to go over a little review, a little tabletop review of the Keltec P11 9mm Luger. It's semi-automatic, double action only. I got it in my nice little carry and conceal holster there. First of all, safety. Make sure the weapon is not loaded. Magazine is empty. Pull the slide back and show you that the weapon is empty as well. There we go. Okay, the Keltec 9mm Luger. It's a P11. It is a great carry and conceal weapon. One of the disadvantages of having such a small weapon like this, you can see it's only an inch wide, so it's very easy to conceal. And I'll show you that in another video as far as how I conceal it. But anyway, the great thing about this, though, or the disadvantage to this actually, is when you get it with the regular magazine, when it's all flush in there, your pinky kind of overhangs, so you don't have as good of a grip as you would want to have. So what you want to do is get you magazine extensions when you get your magazine. They cost you about $5 or $6. So you just install them, and when you got those loaded in good and proper, there you go, you got a good grip. How's that, huh? Well, anyway, yeah, it gives you a very steady grip, and you're able to hold it a lot more steady, and you get better shots at it. And I'll show you my shot group in there in just a second. Okay, this is a very accurate weapon. I fired 100 rounds on it last week when I first got it, and I was shooting from about 20 feet away, and it is pretty dead on accurate. You're not going to be using this for long range shooting. You're not going to be shooting 50 yards like you would with a AR-15, for example. But somebody's coming at you. Yeah, this is a good thing to have. And the trigger pull's kind of long, but once you get used to it, you're good to go. So that's why you want to fire the weapon as much as possible and get good muscle memory of how it works. Okay. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to disassemble this thing. All right. First, again, you take the magazine out, make sure it's empty. Make sure you are empty, unloaded. Make sure the chamber is clear, which it is. Okay. And if you notice, one thing I noticed about the guide rod, I thought it was defective when I first pulled it back, because the guide rod goes up, but weapons of this type usually do. There's a lot of weapons of this type you do that, but it's this is a strong polymer guide rod, and it's very effective. Works very good. All right, first thing you want to do, you have your weapon slide and lock back. There's a little notch right here that you're going to be pulling out. It's the pin. What you want to do, the only way to get this out is to take a spent shell casing, like I have here, and you're going to use the rim of it to hook in there, and you're going to use the leverage to snap it out. You hear it snap. There you go. It is snapped out. Pull out the pin, set it aside. Next thing you want to do, while holding on to the slide, otherwise it's going to go all the way forward on you, while holding on the slide, then gently rack it forward and pull it off. That's simple. There's your receiver, set it down. Next thing you do, you're going to take your little recoil guide rod out. That's your recoil spring on top of the guide rod, or on the guide rod, and you very carefully pull it off. You don't want to let loose, or it's going to shoot and hit somebody over there. Okay, you take that out. As if you'll notice, there's two springs to it. There's one, there's two. Okay, they slip right on the guide rod. That's your secret to how this has some recoil to it, but not too bad. If it wasn't for these two springs, the recoil would be terrible. Okay, so you put it back on like so. You want to clean after you're shooting. And I'm going to go over a video on how to clean the thing too. It's very simple, and things that you can purchase that doesn't cost you that much, that'll make it a lot easier for you. Okay, so you want to set that aside as well. Next thing you want to do is you want to take the barrel out. So what you do is slide it forward a little bit, pull it up and out. That's all there is to it. And you are disassembled. So you took out one part, two part, third part off there is the recoil spring and guide rod, and then the barrel. So that was about 5 steps right there. And that's all there is to it. I don't know if you've ever taken apart an AR-15, but there's a lot more steps to that. Yeah, we call it M4 in the Army. Okay. All right. Putting it back together again. It can be a little tricky, and I'll show you why here in just a second with the guide spring, or the guide rod and the recoil spring. Okay, first thing you want to do, of course, same way we took it apart in total reverse order. Put your barrel back in, slip it through the little hole there, and then flush it all the way back, like so. Pull that back. Next thing you want to do is we want to take your guide rod with the recoil spring. Now this is going to be a little tricky when you try to put in that little hole there. What's going to happen is it can bunch up. So you got to kind of finagle it in there until you feel it poke through. There you go. Now it's poked through. See that? Okay, and you want to put in that first notch right there. This notch here. Now you're ready to put it back on the receiver. The way you do that is you want to gently, or carefully, actually you want to do it this way. You want to carefully make sure the grooves go in the right place, and carefully slide that back slowly and lock it back once you get there. Alright, we got it back, slid back into place, and you want the barrel to be almost flush, I mean not quite flush, just short of flush with the guide rod. So now you're ready to put your pin back in, bevel side down, and just finagle it in there, and it should lock into place real good for you. There you go. Push on in there until you hear it snap. There you go. Now you're ready to rock. So you want to go ahead and check your weapon after you've done this. So go ahead and let it rack forward by pushing the slide release. Okay, now you want to rack it back and forth a few times, do a little functions check. Okay, so you're good. And you want to make sure your trigger is moving, make sure your hammer is moving. So I don't know if you can see the hammer. If you can see the hammer in there. But the hammer, you want to make sure that's moving and that's working good, which it is. Keltec recommends you do not dry fire these. If you dry fire it, it could ruin your weapon. It can mess up your firing pin. So that's just food for thought for that. Okay, so you're ready to rock. So rack in your magazine, and you are all set and ready to rock. So all you got to do is load your magazines up, and you're ready to shoot. And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to go out to a place called A Place to Shoot. It's on the south side of San Antonio. And it's great. It's $10 a person. You pay about $1 for a target. I buy 2 targets, and then you just bring your own equipment. You can bring your own ammo. It's nice. I really love it. Oh, by the way, and I did purchase this weapon. This weapon ran me about $230. I got this through www.galleryofguns.com. Basically, what you do is you get an instant quote when you're in there shopping on the internet. You get an instant quote, and it'll go to your local gun dealers, and it will tell you how much they will let it go for at that gun dealer. So I found a good gun dealer here in San Antonio, and the MSRP on this is $333. I got it for $235. Can't beat that. So I was pretty happy about it, and shipping was free. Didn't have to worry about that part of it. But that's all I got for now. So Next video I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the target here in just a second, so bear with me on that. But the next video I'm going to do is tomorrow. I'm going to go fire 200 rounds through this thing, and over at a place to shoot, and we'll let you be the judge and how straight it shoots and the target and everything like that. And we'll also check for any malfunctions, any misfires, any misfeeds, stovepipes, whole 9 yards. So until next time, I want to thank you very much for stopping by, and this was Guns and Coffee with Mike Reiser. Thank you.
Cleaning up an old dark room that once was our home, sweeping out old memories, forever to be alone. Sitting here with tears in my eyes, my troubles just get